I was late April one year doing stand counts, and I did stand counts through the cornfield, walking back up the irrigation lane, and I found a patch of morel mushrooms just out in the middle of nowhere. No timber, no anything. And I thought, you know what? All the herbicides that get sprayed along this stuff, that's probably the oddest thing I've seen.
Welcome back to Illinois Corn. I'm Lindsay Croke, your host for today, and we are joined by a new precision conservation management specialist and a farmer, Andy Gilson. He is in Western Illinois, and we're so excited to get to know him today. Hi, Andy.
Hi, Lindsay.
So glad you're here. Let's jump right in. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Give us some background.
I'm the newest member of the PCM team, and I cover the Western Illinois territory a little bit on the east side of the river, but it's mainly between Interstate 72 and 74 west of the Mississippi. I live in Havana in Mesa County. Been here my whole life. I take care of farm ground that was my grandparents, or my great grandparents and my grandparents and my uncle. So fourth generation corn, beans, a little bit of seed corn, a little bit of food grade white corn. So I've got good knowledge on what's going on with both sides of the table here, farmer side and as a conservation specialist. So get to see it from both ends.
That's really great. I'm sure that's going to be super valuable for you in this role. For any farmers who are watching that don't know, can you give us a 1 or 2 sentence background on what precision conservation management is?
Yeah, we're a commodity-based backed organization that was made by farmers for farmers. We help farmers see the economics of different conservation practices. We don't tell a farmer how to farm, but if they want to see how other tillage practices compare to theirs, they can join PCM. It's of no cost to them, and we can show them the economics of what 2 tillage passes compared to no till look like, and give them an idea on ways they could better their operation.
I love that. Thank you so much for that quick intro into who you are and to the program. So let's talk a little bit about the farming side of what you do. What is the best kept secret on your own farm?
My best kept secret probably would be back in 2020, I started incorporating cover crops on all my ground just to keep erosion was the biggest thing, but it turned into returning our quail and pheasant population to what it was 25, 30 years ago when I was in high school. For 15 or 20 years, we hardly saw any upland game, and now you see them everywhere, you hear them. So that's probably the best kept secret. There's always something green out there growing, and it's done wonders for the wildlife.
That's a fun story. I also remember seeing a lot of pheasant when I was young and rarely see them today. I agree that those populations have to have declined a little bit. So from where you are sitting today, if you think about, who you were, your younger self, what kind of advice would you give yourself?
I'd probably say keep the path. Things have worked out well. I've before I started farming, I worked on the ag retail side and and actually even worked for the state of Illinois for a while after college. So I had a chance to come to the farm when I was 20, but my uncle and my parents had lived through the 80s and those problems, and they're like, no, 20 years old, that's not the time to start. But my grandfather was willing to roll me in, and there's days I think back, oh, if I would have just done this 25 years ago and jumped ship instead of doing it 7 or 8 years ago, how different would it have been? But I think I'd tell my younger self just to follow the path. It all works out, and just keep your head up.
I love it when weird, different, challenging things that have happened in our past, we figure out that they had meaning later in our life. And I feel like that has happened really recently. Like my daughter she actually just had a bone break, and it changed her whole path, right? But it's interesting to look back even just 1 year and see there was value in that. I really appreciate that advice that you would give to your younger self.
Yeah, that change. the change worked out well going to the agronomy side before farming because it gave me a whole different aspect.
So you're starting this new career with precision conservation management. What is something that you're really excited about?
I I really like meeting with new growers and seeing what practices they do. We run across guys that still do full tillage, 2+ passes, and then we run into guys that do interseeding and things like that. And it's really neat to see all that, like all the different things that might go on within a 5 mile radius that you never knew was going on, and talking to them about, hey, this has worked, this hasn't worked, because the farmer side of me is like, oh, hey, I want to try something like this. How has that happened? And here's another way to find someone. And guys usually are willing to tell you about their experiences doing something, and that's what excites me about it. I get to go learn about other operations, see what they're doing, see if I can make mine better, or if someone's looking into, hey, maybe I want to no-till or cover crop. I've got first hand experience on, hey, these are issues that I might have had, or things that could help the transition if they want to try a conservation practice on a farm.
I think it's going to be so valuable that you are farming and have that experience also, because that peer to peer communication really is so valuable. I mean, even in my own industry, but very obviously, farmers want to talk to other farmers. And so it's really exciting to bring you on board in this role, I think.
Yeah, I've noticed that the more guys I've met with, and when I tell them who I am, what I do other than the PCM side, and what I've tried and how things have worked and what I'd like to try, then they seem to really open up and start talking about their operation, and I get a lot better feel for what they're trying to do. If if they're trying to see the economics on, hey, are the practices I'm doing paying off? Should I keep doing them, or should I move towards something else? I mean, it it is neat, and I think it does help a lot because I know a lot of what they're talking about. I know the cost associated with it firsthand, so it's not like, oh well, it's just a slight cost. It's like, no, there's more than just seeding this. There's a lot more that goes into it.
But as a PCM specialist, you'll also know where are there partnerships, where are there programs they can enroll in, try to reduce those costs. And and also I just want to drive home. You said it before, but I just want to say it again. There's no obligation for a farmer to change anything should he or she sign up for PCM. It's just about gathering information.
Yeah, we're more about the economics. We want to show growers, hey, this is what your 2 pass tillage or 2+ pass tillage this look like compared to maybe a farm you do no till. Here's your return on investment on it. So here's where costs are different. Then we can show them a radius of 20, 40, 60 miles. And I mean, it is very nice there. And that's the thing. That's our main objective. But then when you join PCM or participate with us, then we do have cost share programs that we can go out and help find, and be it on private side or the government side, like Farmers for Soil Health right now is paying $35 an acre for anyone who does cover crops. So talking to these guys that are already doing it, saying, here's a benefit of it, something we can help you enroll in, because PCM is the technical advisors for the state of Illinois for that program. So, but we go out and we're more about the economics than we are anything. But by being part of our group, then we can help find cost share dollars to help make those changes that you might want to make.
The conservation doesn't matter if the economics don't matter. Like, the economics are really important, the conservation equally important, but the farm has to be economically sustainable for any of it to matter. So, love the approach of the whole program and think you're going to be so valuable there. I'm sure you already are. Um, as a previous crop scout, can you share something really weird or strange that you've seen in that line of work?
Yeah, I was late April one year doing stand counts and walking. I did stand counts through the cornfield, walking back up the irrigation lane, and I found a patch of morel mushrooms just out in the middle of nowhere. No timber, no anything. And I thought, you know what? For all the herbicides that get sprayed along this stuff, that's probably the oddest thing I've seen. crop scouting. It had nothing to do with crops. Just found a patch of morel mushroom just out in the middle of a lane. No timber, no nothing nearby. But probably 50 or 60 years earlier, it was pine trees and timber soil. But yeah, they emerged through through everything that had been going on.
What a great find. Did you take them
Yeah,
home?
I did. There were about a half dozen, so the only ones I found for the whole year.
Yeah.
So
Well, is there anything else that you would like to add about your background or about your hopes for this new role before we move on?
I I guess my hopes for this new role is to help individuals see that, or growers that in the area see that there are costs associated with conservation, but certain practices can help or offset those, and that every little bit helps. But when you look at the economics, it comes down to that, and we don't want to be thought as of a cover crop or a uh, marketing trying to find you cost share dollars. We want to be known as helping with the economics, and that's the biggest thing. When you see the name Precision Conservation Management, we're here trying to help growers see the economics of their practices to make changes if they want. So that's probably the biggest thing I'd like people to take away from it, is that we're not here to push cover crops on you or find program dollars. We want to show you the economics of how your farm stacks up to other farms in the program. But if you do those programs, we can or practices, we can help you find programs to get paid for them.
Are you ready to be corny, Andy?
I'm ready.
All right, here's our joke. Why do you think PCM is great at relationships?
Why?
Because they believe in a long-term commitment to soil health and sustainability. Thank you so much for joining me today, Andy. It's been delightful to get to know you, and I'm really excited for everything you're going to bring to precision conservation management and all the farmers in Western Illinois.